There's something no one says out loud, something hidden beneath the highlight reels. Behind the perfect smiles and carefully curated lives, here it is. Most people are lost, not just a little unsure, but completely disconnected from who they are, where they're going, and why they even started. But no one wants to admit it. Because we've built a world that rewards certainty, we admire confidence. We celebrate those who seem to have it all figured out. So we pretend, we wear the masks, we scroll and smile, all while feeling like we're drifting through our own lives. If this feels familiar, if you've ever looked in the mirror and asked yourself, what am I even doing? What's the point? Where am I headed? Then you're not broken, you're not behind, you're not alone. But here's the powerful truth. While everyone else is busy pretending they're not lost, you have the chance to find your way, to wake up, to choose direction over confusion, clarity over chaos, and purpose over pretending. This is not about having every answer. It's about asking the right questions and daring to live them, because yes, everyone is lost at some point, but you don't have to stay there. Right now, there's something inside you that knows there's more. You feel it. Even if you can't explain it, a quiet pull toward meaning, toward growth, toward becoming who you were meant to be. But here's the challenge: in a noisy world, the voice that guides you gets drowned out by expectations, by fear, by the endless pressure to measure up to something or someone. You don't get lost all at once. It happens slowly. One compromise at a time, one silent decision to fit in, one moment of ignoring your own voice, until one day, you wake up and wonder where you went. But the good news, finding yourself doesn't require some grand event. It doesn't mean abandoning your life or starting from zero. It starts with awareness, with honesty, with choosing to stop following the crowd long enough to hear yourself think. When was the last time you were quiet enough to feel your own truth? When was the last time you did something not because it was expected, but because it actually mattered to you? We spend so much time looking outside of ourselves for answers. Social media, opinions, validation, approval, but the compass you're looking for isn't out there, it's in you. It always has been. The problem is never that we're too lost to be found. It's that we've stopped believing we can be the world will tell you to chase everything. Chase money, chase status, chase recognition. But chasing without purpose is how you get further lost. Direction is not about speed. It's about alignment, and alignment starts with self-trust, with paying attention to your energy, what drains you, what excites you, what feels forced versus what feels true. Start there. Your path won't look like anyone else's, and that's a good thing. You weren't meant to copy, you were meant to create. To build a life rooted in values, driven by meaning, fueled by the kind of purpose that can't be shaken by opinion. This doesn't mean it'll be easy. There will be doubt, there'll be detours, there'll be moments where clarity fades. But remember, being temporarily lost is not the same as being directionless. Every person who ever did anything meaningful felt lost at some point. They questioned themselves. They second-guessed. They wondered if it was worth it, but they didn't let the fog stop their feet from moving. They kept showing up, kept listening inward, kept trusting that the path would reveal itself. Not all at once, but step by step. And that's what you need to remember. You don't need to know every answer. You just need to take the next honest step. Ask yourself, what am I doing that no longer feels like mine? What am I avoiding that I know I need to face? What kind of person am I becoming with the choices I make daily? These questions don't require instant answers, but they demand your attention. Because clarity doesn't come from overthinking, it comes from courage. Courage to pause, to reflect, to choose differently. Everyone is lost when they stop checking in with themselves, when they stop asking, am I being true to who I am or just playing a part? Here's a truth that might sting. Most people will stay lost because comfort is seductive, because fitting in feels safer than standing alone, because pretending is easier than transforming. But you have another option. You can choose to stop, to turn inward, to ask, what does a meaningful life look like to me? Not to my peers, not to society, not to the internet, but to me. And when you begin to live by that answer, you stop drifting, you stop chasing, you stop existing and start living. It doesn't mean you'll never feel lost again, but it means you'll know how to find your way back. You'll create your own map, rooted not in what's popular, but in what's true. You'll trust yourself even when the path is unclear, because now you know the difference between being busy and being fulfilled, between achievement and alignment, between attention and intention. This world needs less noise and more people who are awake to who they are, to what they care about, to the kind of legacy they want to leave. You don't have to have 1 million followers to make an impact. You don't need a perfect plan to move forward. You don't need permission to evolve. What you need is to stop running from the silence long enough to hear what your life is trying to tell you. That voice inside, the one whispering you were made for more. It's not lying. And it's not too late. You can begin today, not with a dramatic change, but with one honest decision to stop pretending, to stop numbing, to stop settling, and instead to start listening, to start aligning, to start choosing who you want to become. Even in a world where everyone seems lost, you can be the one who finds their way. And in doing so, you'll become a light, a quiet invitation for others to do the same, because when one person wakes up, it sparks a chain reaction. And maybe, just maybe, that's how the world starts to heal, one awakened soul at a time. So don't wait to be rescued. Don't wait for everything to make sense. Take the next brave step, even if it's small, even if it's quiet, even if no one else sees it. You'll know, and that deep, unshakable knowing that is the beginning of everything you've been looking for. Everyone is lost sometimes, but you don't have to be.